In a small, bustling village, nestled among winding dirt paths and the cheerful sounds of daily life, stood a tiny wooden house that always smelled faintly of baked goods and warm spices. This was the home of Uncle San and Aunt Srey. They were a poor family, making a humble living by selling simple pastries and fresh vegetables from a small stand right outside their door. Though they didn't have much in the way of material wealth, their hearts were overflowing with a goodness that radiated throughout the community. They greeted everyone, from the wealthiest merchant to the smallest child, with a genuine smile, and were known throughout the village for their unwavering willingness to help without ever expecting anything in return. Right across the narrow dirt path, in a house just as modest, lived Grandpa Vit, Emma's grandfather. Grandpa Vit was a lonely old man, his days quiet and often solitary. His children lived far away in the city, their lives busy and distant, and while his kind and thoughtful granddaughter, Emma, visited him every weekend without fail, the long weekdays often left him feeling isolated. His health was frail, and the simple tasks of daily life were becoming increasingly difficult. The silence in his small house was a constant companion, a stark contrast to the lively chatter and warmth that emanated from the home across the path. Uncle San and Aunt Srey saw Grandpa Vit not as a customer to be sold to or a burden to be avoided, but as a beloved member of their extended family, a neighbor who deserved care and respect. Their kindness was a quiet, consistent rhythm in his life. Every morning before setting up their stall with freshly baked pastries and colorful vegetables, Uncle San would take his broom and sweep the dusty area in front of Grandpa Vit's house, clearing away the fallen leaves and debris from the night. It was a small gesture, but it was a daily act of respect, a message that he was seen and cared for. Aunt Srey, with her perpetually warm hands and even warmer heart, never failed to share their meals. Before her own family ate, she would carefully portion out a small, steaming bowl of their best-cooked dish, be it a fragrant vegetable stew or a simple rice porridge, carry it over to the old man. She knew he often had little appetite and even less energy to cook for himself. "It's just a little something, Grandpa Vit," Aunt Srey would say warmly, her smile lighting up her face as she placed the bowl in his weathered hands. "A taste of home, to keep your strength up." The food nourished his body, but her gentle words and consistent presence nourished his lonely spirit. One rainy afternoon, the skies opened up and a relentless downpour soaked the village. Inside his home, Grandpa Vit fell ill with a terrible fever, his body racked with shivers. Emma was far away in the city, unaware of her grandfather's sudden decline. Panic could have easily set in, but the moment Uncle San and Aunt Srey heard his weak cries for help, they acted without a second's hesitation. Aunt Srey, clutching her last few dollars, ran through the mud and ran to the small village pharmacy to buy medicine. She didn't think about her own family's needs or the pastries she wouldn't be able to bake the next day. Her only thought was of the sick man across the path. While she was gone, Uncle San stayed by Grandpa Vit's side. He spoke to him in soothing tones, reassuring him that help was on its way. With a soft, damp cloth, he gently wiped the sweat from the old man's fevered forehead, offering what little comfort he could. He sat with him through the long, anxious hours, a steady and calming presence in the dim, rain-swept room. When Aunt Srey returned with the medicine, they administered it carefully. Their combined efforts, a silent testament to their deep-seated compassion. They were his caregivers when his own family couldn't be there, his lifeline in a moment of crisis. Their extraordinary generosity extended far beyond Grandpa Vit. They were the silent pillars of the community. Their kindness a constant, flowing spring from which everyone in the village could drink. If a poor child came by their stall, eyes wide with longing for a sweet treat, Aunt Srey would always slip them an extra pastry, her eyes twinkling as she whispered, "A happy stomach makes a happy mind." She never saw it as a loss of profit, but as an investment in a child's momentary happiness. When a neighbor's roof was damaged in a fierce storm, threatening to leave his family exposed to the elements. Uncle Sam didn't think twice. He spent his only day off, a day meant for rest and recovery, clambering onto the damaged roof, helping with the repairs until his hands were raw and his back ached. They did not do these things for recognition or reward. They did them because it was who they were, their actions a pure expression of their benevolent hearts. Years passed. Grandpa's health slowly declined, but thanks to the constant, loving care of his neighbors, he lived a comfortable and dignified life until his final days. Aunt Ray's daily meals and Uncle Sam's quiet acts of service became the bedrock of his existence, a source of comfort that was more potent than any medicine. He was never truly alone, for the family across the path had woven him into the fabric of their own lives. They had given him the gift of family when he needed it most, surrounding him with a warmth that held the loneliness at bay. Emma, who had watched the Sen family's selfless devotion with profound gratitude on her weekend visits, grew up to be a successful businesswoman in the city. Her grandfather had left her the small house, a tangible piece of her past. But his final wish was simple and had been etched into her heart. Do not forget the kindness that saved my life, Emma. Repay it in a way that honors its spirit. The memory of Aunt Ray bringing warm soup and Uncle Sam patiently sweeping the yard was a powerful motivator, a constant reminder of the debt she felt she owed. Emma decided to honor her grandfather's wish in a significant and meaningful way. She knew that simply giving them money would not be enough. It might even offend their humble nature. The kindness they had shown was not a transaction, and her gratitude needed to be expressed in a way that reflected the depth and sincerity of their actions. She wanted to give them not just a reward, but a future, a foundation upon which their own dreams could be built, just as they had provided a foundation of care for her grandfather. One sunny morning, the village air, crisp and clear, Emma arrived. The familiar scent of spices and baked goods led her directly to the small stall where the San family was busy selling their daily goods, their faces wreathed in the same kind smiles she remembered from her childhood. She approached them, her heart full, a plan carefully formulated in her mind. Uncle Sam, Aunt Ray, Emma said, her voice full of an emotion that had been building for years. You gave my grandfather more than just medicine and food. You gave him your hearts, your time, and your unwavering compassion. That is a debt I can never truly repay, a gift of immeasurable value. Tears welled up in Aunt Ray's eyes as she wiped her hands on her apron. Her expression won a humble surprise. We just did what neighbors should do, child. It was our pleasure to care for him. He was like our own father.